Welcome back. Welcome back, everybody, to vidIQ, where today we are going to be taking a look at your channels. Hopefully, you specifically watching. We're going to see a lot of channels, though, and we always ask that everybody take some notes because we have a lot. We already have hundreds and hundreds of channels that have submitted. So there's like, you know, a small chance you don't get on the stream today. We're going to try our best, though, to audit as many as possible. If it's your first time here, go ahead and give us a little raised hand emoji, whatever raised hand emoji you want. We want to know how many of you are brand new to this live stream. We're going to explain how it works in just a little bit. And you notice I did say we because I'm not alone. I'm not alone. Rob's here.
Hey, everybody.
Rob. Right, see you later. Thank you for that. Anyway, so Rob's here, as you can see.
Hey, everybody. Here I'm Dan's wingman today, which means that I can play with my sound effects. I can also play with my soundboard, which means I have a very public announcement.
It's loud.
As Viper likes to say, we are live and ready to go. How are you doing, Dan? Looking forward to this.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm looking forward to it as well. How are you?
I'm great. Did anybody notice a little hack and trick I played on all of you? I set the live stream to 2:45 p.m. my time, or 15 minutes before the hour, and then sneakily I changed that to 15 minutes later to the top of the hour, because what seems to happen with YouTube with live streams is that it starts to funnel people in about half an hour before, and it continues to do that even if you push the live stream back. So now we have 400 concurrent people watching, and usually at this time, like 2 or 3 minutes into the live stream, we're down to like 200 or 300. So the hack still works. So if anybody wants to try that, set your live stream to like 15 minutes before you would go live, and then just change the time really close to it. Might annoy your audience a little bit. Let us know if you're annoyed in the chat right now by a poop emoji or something, but it does seem to work.
So quick question for you, Rob, because
Yes.
since we're waiting for everyone to file in anyway, someone said my microphone was glitching. Are you hearing that?
I am not hearing a glitching from my side, Dan. You, as always, sound beautiful. I wish you did ASMR because I would listen to you every single night.
That's good, because I thought this was a pretty expensive setup. So it's good that it's not doing that for you. If it is sounding weird, looking weird, there's a couple things you can do. You can refresh your tab. If you're on a browser, you can go into the settings on the video and you can lower the visual quality of it so it catches up a little bit. So if you're ever watching any live stream on YouTube, you do have some options there. All right.
What you can also do, Dan, is blame the viewer and say, get better speakers on my headphones because it's their fault.
Yeah, maybe your headphone cord is loose. Maybe the problem is you.
And that's going to be the theme of today.
You're the problem.
It's not us, it's you.
Yes. Okay, so I did say I was going to explain how this works, but actually, Rob, you're going to explain how this works.
Again?
Under a minute. Yeah, get ready.
Welcome to the vidIQ channel reviews live stream. Simply fill in the correct form in the video description and your channel will be considered for review during a live stream. Channel reviews are free, so no need to send us a super chat, and don't spam us in the live chat. We'll ignore it and you may be put in timeout. After the live stream, don't forget to download the vidIQ extension where you can get a custom channel audit, daily ideas, and an AI-powered video title generator. Link is in the description. If you submit your channel for review, expect the following. We are sharing nothing more than our knowledge, experience and passion as fellow creators. Thank you to all of our moderators who help us out on the live stream every week. You know who you are. Give us a like if you enjoy this live stream, subscribe if you love it, and share it with like-minded fellow creators. All right, let's get started.
All right, and we're here. So we like to pick the very first channel that managed to submit on the non-gaming form and the first channel that managed to submit on the gaming form. And this week, Hike, Walk, Paddle was actually the very first channel that submitted on the non-gaming form. This is a channel that is familiar to me. And on the form, they said that we've not reviewed them before.
Liars.
So, liars, or maybe they just missed that one. So listen, and I could be wrong, but I think we've seen this channel before. If you wonder if your channel has ever been audited, our community manager, Vicky, spends so much time taking your channels and logging them so that you can go back and look and see if you've ever been audited. So do be sure to check the link in the description below for that spreadsheet. Anyone can view that and see a past live stream from this year. We haven't been doing this forever, but from this year, if you have been seen before. So yeah, just a quick PSA there. All right, Hike Walk Paddle, almost 400 subscribers, under 100 videos. They do walking tours, hikes, drone flights, and paddles near Boston. What are you seeing? The first thing that jumps out to you?
So I think we definitely have audited this channel before, because that channel logo is very familiar, especially Boston, Massachusetts. I'm sure I've seen that before. But regardless of that, what I think we can identify here, Dan, is just given from what I can remember from the last time we audited this channel, which I think is probably when I was here before the holiday seasons, like 4, 5, 6 months ago. I don't think much has changed from what I can remember. And what I mean by that is the creator continues to be very committed to their value proposition, which is to show interesting, glorious landscapes from where they live in the world. And that is perfectly fine as a YouTube content creator.
Mm-hmm.
However, we still see this invasion, I would call it, of awkward text, whether it be a different color each time, a different skeletal like font. And I always feel as if thin fonts are always much more difficult to read on thumbnails. That's not to say that you should always use cartoony thumbnails. Like we did that for a while until our new thumbnail designer swooped in and fixed that a little bit for us, where we do still have chunky funky thumbnails. No, chunky fonts. So I still think text is an issue, like hike to skull glyph. I think the latest one, the Google font, almost, you know, like with all of the different colors here,
right,
really detracts from what looks to be quite an interesting epic skyline. And I feel as if that could have been sold a little more in the thumbnail. Skull cliff. What are they? Are they skulls? I'm trying to figure out what they were.
It looks like it's a 360 video, so I have to like find them. I guess it's somewhere up here because the quality, it says 4K. It could be my internet, but oh my goodness, like this is,
well, I think it's 4K based on the fact that it's a 360 degree image. So all of those pixels are stretched out to a much wider field of vision.
There we go.
Or not. Or now it looks quite nice, actually.
I had to take it out of auto, but hopefully the stream doesn't lag now. So there's some, I guess it's like skulls painted on a cliff. And it's a shame because it looks like there's been some other graffiti on it. And I'll just kind of turn away from
unfortunate. You can see in the thumbnail, actually, they've covered up that bit of graffiti with 360.
Yeah.
Intelligently done. By the way, if we go back to the channel itself, I just feel as a channel that prides itself on landscapes and the visual interest of the places that they're going to, that the thumbnails don't support that. And then all of the titles feel a little long. And again, I'm going to quote Jake Thomas a little bit here. If you have to read a title twice, then the title's probably failed in its objective to capture the moment with the viewer. And with each of these, just because they're so long, I feel as if I'm going to read them twice a little bit.
That's I think you pointed out everything I noticed as well. It was the fonts that were kind of hard to read. It was the titles that didn't really tell me what was going to happen in the video. And like there's some obvious things here. Like the latest video is a hike to Skull Cliff. There is nothing in this image. If I just look past the text, there's nothing in this image that says that there is a hike to anywhere, because I'm seeing some treetops and I'm seeing a skyline. All of these things opposite of cliffs. It's not really giving me that visual indicator. This one is a little more clear. And I know this is supposed to be leading up to it, but Skull Cliff is supposedly the payoff in the video, right? So you can lead with that in your thumbnail. But that's just like one thing to point out. It's just the mindset of the viewer who could be scrolling around on YouTube, who sees this content pop up, and they're not getting that visual, stimulation that they need to go and say, well, I'm going to watch this video. I want to see what this place is all about. I want to see how to get there. I don't know anything about it. I don't know where it is. So there's just a lot missing here. I think one thing they could, or two things they could do, are titles and thumbnails. and then check back with us. Like, keep submitting your channel, because I would love to see where this channel would be if they would sit down and kind of retool their title and thumbnail strategy. You could go back to some of your older videos, the ones you feel really strongly about, and if you have some ideas, update those titles and thumbnails. But more importantly, do that for the new content. Like, really take the time whenever you're making a video, before you record the video, thinking about the hook, thinking about the reasons someone might watch, because putting yourself in that title thumbnail mindset before you even hit record means that once you do hit record, now you're going into the video knowing this is what the viewer is going to see before they click on the video. So once they click, what's the next thing they should see? What's the next thing that should happen? And if this channel takes the time to kind of like implement those strategies, I would be very excited to see it pop back up in another 6 months and see what's changed.
I want a quick 20-second discussion on this, Dan. 360 videos. I think to enjoy these best is to have a VR headset. Obviously, you can watch them on desktop, as you've just proven there by just dragging your mouse around.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about, should you have your shorts and long form content on the same channel?
Mm-hmm.
What about if you have 360, non-360? Like, I have no data or information about how popular 360 videos are.
Mm-hmm.
I still feel they are very, very niche. And could it be disrupting the flow of a channel by spending a lot of time recording? Because, you know, in terms of the video formats, the file size, how much are you getting out of them? Discuss.
I think that 360 video is really cool. I think that on a phone, it's also really easy to watch, because you can either take the phone and kind of move it around, or you can take, I think, your thumb. I think you get the option. I don't know. I don't watch a lot of 360. I know on
it's cool, but you don't watch much of it.
Well, not a lot of people make it, you know. But I've
yeah.
seen some. Like, one of my favorites I watched was someone did a 360 video of like a new Star Wars ride at like Disney. And I'm like, that's pretty cool. Like, that seems like a good use of 360 video. And it made sense for the channel because they cover theme parks and things like that. And I didn't feel like this belongs on a different 360 channel or anything like that. It just, it feels like it should be used in the right moment. It should be used kind of sparingly. And a hiking channel makes sense. I see the temptation.
I guess so. Yeah. That's the point.
Yeah. But I would kind of be doing both. Maybe that's what they did. Maybe this is the 360 video, and this one's not 360. It doesn't say it is. I don't have the option to spin it around. So yeah, I think that's maybe a good way to do it. Oh, you guys can't see it. Is to do, you know, a 360 video and then a non 360 video. I think it's fun to try out. But one thing I will say is you got to keep that in mind. It could create more work for the viewer than they're willing to do, you know, depending on what it is you're covering. I think 360 should be something you think of in terms of like the value, like I mentioned with the theme park example. If you're just trying to get a feel for a new ride or something, like, that's great. One thing I'll ask you, Rob, is would you find it weird? Because I think I'd find it weird. Do you think you'd find it weird if 360 video was commentated over? Like, they're trying, because imagine the commentary would be trying to like point you in the direction of something, but you're in control of the camera now. So that,
yeah,
I that's like part of the difference to me. Like, I think 360 should also be kind of silent film in that way. Like, you should let the viewer have the experience.
You raised a good
in control
point,
of it.
But then I think the visuals have to be stunning and incredible, and like you're almost rewinding half of the time to just see all of your surroundings. It would be a bold and move and a gamble to not do narration on any type of video, I think. But obviously, if you're going to do that with a 360 video, then you need to find some nice, soothing, relaxing music or whatever music would fit that. And maybe, well, no, you wouldn't have any text on screen, would you? Because then the viewer would have to be scrolling around trying to find where the text is as well. God, it sounds like a minefield trying to do a 360 video.
Yeah. So they've done two, maybe ever. And I think it's cool they tried it.
Yeah, definitely so. Definitely so.
And I would say 2 is not enough to like know whether or not that's like a really smart thing to do. So keep playing with it, but I would not go exclusively one way or the other with a channel like this. There's a lot of hiking channels and things like that do very well to try different things. So yeah, hike, walk, paddle. Thank you for submitting your channel once again. We do hope you see this audit. And, you know, for anyone who wonders if it's ever happened to them, if they've ever been audited before, do check the link in the description below for that list of channels. Now, the first gaming channel that submitted on our gaming form was Evie Games, and they play Roblox.
Evie?
Thank you for submitting your channel. So the first thing I noticed immediately when I clicked on this channel was the effort they're putting into thumbnails. For a channel with under 1,000 subscribers, I'm just really impressed by, you know, the composition. I think they're doing a pretty good job. There's definitely work that could be done with them, but we've seen a lot of Roblox channels come by, you know, who are obviously kind of like newer to the game of YouTube, and they're nowhere near to the level you are. But you know, I just wanted to compliment them there. The next thing I wanted to say, with my gaming hat on, is Adopt Me now is, from what I understand, a very old Roblox game. Roblox is a platform where people make games and put them on there all the time. So I have to imagine by now, Adopt Me is one of those games that's nowhere near as popular as whatever kind of replaced it in the Roblox community. I could be wrong. You're going to know your niche better than I'm going to know it, but I know there were a lot of channels back in the day that were like really into Adopt Me, and they made whole careers starting with that game. And I don't know, they've probably since moved on. So when I see views like this on thumbnails that are, you know, of a decent quality, I kind of wonder, like, my attention directly goes to the popularity of the game you're playing. Is it big enough, or is there another critter collection game in Roblox that you could maybe test out? I'd be asking myself that question, but there's a lot of other things going on here. Anything you're noticing?
Is it time to bring out the red text on thumbnail, or is it fine because it's on a white background, but the font is so chunky that it makes it difficult to... I'm struggling to read these. Maybe it's because I wear glasses now, but...
No, I am too. It's a very... The font is too wide, which is not a criticism I give lightly or often.
Yeah.
But... And the red is bothering me. I think white with like a nice black stroke on it or something, you don't need the backgrounds. It stands out better. Maybe a drop shadow or something would be easier to read. And then, yeah, something just like 20% less chunky, maybe 15% less chunky.
What I would say from a branding and community aspect is that this channel is showing some strong numbers. They're using the same character in every single thumbnail. So that's like the subtle branding that you have there, the identifying of the content. And if you look at the views down, I think a channel with about 350 subscribers, something like that, the view counts are relatively healthy on each of these, and they're posting relatively consistently as well, maybe 2 or 3 videos a week. So all of that is very encouraging signs. Obviously, I don't know much about the particular game and how popular or old this mod is. So yeah, Dan, maybe it is time to experiment with something that has more of a broad appeal. That's the challenge in itself, though, isn't it? Because there's probably so many mods in Roblox that you're almost not like almost jumping from one game to another, even though it's the same game. It's like the mod completely changes the playing experience. I'd be interested to know if dabbling in shorts, as this might be something that they can experiment with, and they're doing that, and with some very good views. So that's awesome to see. Again, we don't know what the posting consistency here is because YouTube has taken away the dates on shorts, but I'd be very encouraged by this. They've managed to establish themselves in both long form and shorts on a channel already. Excellent. What about a community tab? Have they started building a community yet, Eva? Well, all right, they're a little behind on that. Now, maybe they're thinking, I'm only getting 1 thumbs up there, so it's not worth it. It is. It just takes longer to develop this side of the community, but this time next year, when you've reached maybe 1,000 subscribers and you've monetized, you might be getting a couple of hundred votes per community tab, and that can really have a huge impact in terms of impressions for the channel.
Yeah, so this is not enough community posts to yet determine whether or not the community tab is like worth it for you. I'd be doing this stuff every day, like literally every single day. Try and get something for that is audience facing. What I mean by that is something that your audience cares about, and get them voting on these. Because like this latest one, hope you like the video so far. What's your favorite type of Roblox gaming video to watch? Like these are kind of classic community tab faux pas to me. You could do this once in a while, but most of the time you're not going to get a lot of responses on stuff like this because people are they're already watching you. They already enjoy what you're doing, and they don't have the time or energy to sit there and decide for you what kind of content you should be making or what kind of content. That's not what they care about. Your audience cares about this stuff, the adorable animals. That's why they watch you. So try to avoid making big decisions. I'm not saying you are or aren't, but a lot of channels do post like this. Like, try to avoid making big decisions based off what a minority of your community tab viewers are saying. It's going to like send you potentially in the wrong direction. So keep that in mind. You're building an audience over here, and presumably a lot of those folks are seeing your community posts. Interaction is limited. You know, there's only so many of those people who are actually going to interact with them. So to keep that in mind. Another thing you could try, something I try, is take like the name of the game and try and, you know, ham-fist it into this part of the of the community tab post. Like, which one of these fossil animals is your favorite from Adopt Me in Roblox? Like, just a little bit of keyword juice can go a long way. I think with community posts, there's not a lot of context in community posts for YouTube to kind of latch onto. So if YouTube knows that this is about a thing that is popular, then it kind of it'll help it kind of like put it out there to those types of people.
Community posts reach far beyond your subscribers. So yes, definitely worth giving YouTube as much information about the context of the post. Dan, can you just go to the About section as a final summary here? So they joined this year. They're just about to crack 50,000 views. They're about to crack 500 subscribers. So I think in 3 months, 3.5 months, very good progress. Good channel. I see promise.
Oh yeah, definitely. I can tell they're taking notes. I can tell this is the type of channel that may come to these live streams, may look around YouTube and see what they could be doing better, and they're taking notes. So best of luck to you. There's you know, the one last thing I'll say about your thumbnails is there's a lot of times where you don't blur the background, but it kind of needs it. Like, it's really hard to see these ducklings that you're holding, and it's because the background is so busy. So keep that in mind. Just whenever possible, try and get these kinds of backgrounds that are a little bit easier to see with the foreground in. But there you go. A whole bunch of tips for you. Thank you so much, Evie Games, and we'll move on to the next channel. Now,
as Dan is moving on to the next channel, can I just say we're getting some super chats in? Awesome.
Oh yeah.
We just want to remind you that super chats do not guarantee a channel audit, but we'll try and block out some time to read them out if there's a question there, have a conversation about it. And also, as always, huge round of applause to our moderators. I'm seeing Calvin the Unfindable, Slavgard's in there, and also Victoria, who does all of the timestamps for the videos. Big thumbs up. I'm always trying to remember to say that, Dan. And because I'm not hosting, I've remembered to do that.
Thank you to our moderators. So the next channel we're looking at is InfamousJJ. Now, this is another gaming channel, and the reason we're looking at them is because every week or so on Twitter, we do these Twitter competitions that could lead you to getting a channel audit. And InfamousJJ is owed a channel audit. So
my fault. I forgot to do it last week.
It's okay. Thank you, InfamousJJ, for your patience. And we want to... What was that?
I tried to play a sound effect, but I think my computer almost broke down. I'm sorry. It's my fault. But we're doing it now.
We're doing it now. InfamousJJ is doing pretty well for themselves with over 100,000 subscribers, 63 videos. They're playing Minecraft. Maybe you know of them because this is a pretty large YouTuber in this space, and you can sub for $5.
Does he give $5, or does somebody pay $5 to the InfamousJJ to sub?
I don't know.
Feels a little scammy.
Legal reasons. I think that's probably why dollar is spelled wrong. So I think they're covered there. All right. So this is going to be one of those channels that's a good example for gaming channels about communicating a message to your viewers. Because if you want to have, let's say, 100 subscribers, but you want to get almost 10 times the views you have per subscribers, you should be paying attention to videos like this and learning everything you can about them. Why is this video approaching 1 million views when the channel does not have near that many subscribers? It's because of communicating a clear message. I built a base that makes infinite diamond gear. So they showed a tease of what this base looks like on the left with little villagers kind of stuck into smelters. And they have an arrow pointing at the proof, you know, infinite diamond armor. That looks like infinite. Those are full stacks of armor and you know, totems and all this stuff that is very useful in the game. So very simple thumbnail. You know, it's 2 pictures and an arrow. It couldn't be simpler, and it communicates a simple message. But not only that, a valuable one, because if you've ever played Minecraft, you know that this is just good stuff to have as you progress through the game. So they're doing the work. is basically the point. They're playing Minecraft and they're making really wise choices with their content. They're making content that provides value, and if you'll notice in these last 4 videos, they've only posted once a month, which is something I'm going to advocate for right now. A lot of people say that you should post as often as possible, and sure, posting a lot means you have more opportunities to get views. Yeah, sure. But if you take your time and you post less often and you use that time to improve the quality of your videos and do the research to figure out what the heck does the Minecraft audience even need from me? Minecraft has been covered front to back. What can I bring them? You'll get videos that get a lot more views because they are reaching a much wider audience thanks to all of the hard work and research you did going into that video. So shout out to InfamousJJ for doing the hard work, making excellent thumbnails that are very clear and easy to understand. Those are the things I'm noticing.
Horror, Dan. I actually agree with you. I'm usually the first to advocate for, let's make more content. Let's give yourselves more opportunities. But my assumption here is that these videos take a long time to make. I don't know. It's building a massive moving ship, something that takes forever to do in survival mode in Minecraft.
I've never seen it. I've never seen it done. It could be a mod. I don't know, but I got to watch. I got to know.
So yeah, like Dan, who knows a little bit more about Minecraft, has never seen this before. So my guess is it's probably unusual and or difficult to do. And what I sense is that these videos, when they have time to breathe on YouTube, they're getting probably really high watch time. So YouTube is constantly testing that with similar audiences. So yeah, I think if you have a cadence of roughly 1 video a month and it's working, fine. My particular favorite thumbnail here is actually the worst performing video, I think, at 2,157 chickens versus Minecraft SMP. I love like the organized chaos and yet the epicness of it.
Yeah.
And the like bizarre number, like a very specific number of chickens. You've also got the contrast of the verses that creates conflict. I'd love to see that video do better. It's unfortunate that it didn't. Again, Dan, subtle branding, the purple, neon purple character. And I would be just asking a simple question as somebody who knows nothing about Minecraft except for this. Does this creator know Farsi? And if they haven't, check out their channel because the content looks fairly similar. You may be able to get some ideas from this creator who's currently 10 times the size of you, but is getting like a kind of like a similar amount of views. What are you chuckling at, Dan? I'm trying to give some honest, serious Minecraft advice here, and I don't know what I'm talking about.
Farsi's just funny. I built your mom in Minecraft. It's just,
right, okay.
It's just funny. I just like that.
Fair enough. It's a good idea, though, isn't it?
What
about building a moving mom? Maybe the InfamousJJ can do that.
Like creators like this, we talk about Farsi a lot, and there used to be a running joke about you guys taking a shot every time you mention Farsi, because this is just like, for the longest time, been our prime example of a Minecraft channel doing what it should be doing in the 2020s. Minecraft is an old game, and creators have been around as long as the game has been around, covering it, and you got to innovate, and Farsi's an innovator. And you'll notice the similarities between Farsi's thumbnails and titles and pitches to this channel, but this channel is also trying other things too. And you can tell just by looking at it, they're bringing their own spin to it. So I think this is cool. I agree. Like, this video should have more views because this thumbnail I noticed immediately. My only thought, and this is just me speculating, I don't have any data to prove this, but I kind of wonder if the amount of chickens versus Minecraft SMP is just not, the title itself is not communicating how chaotic that is. Because in my mind, like, I have to think for a second about what's Minecraft SMP. Oh, right. That's a multiplayer server. That's like a server full of other people. So now the symbol above your head makes more sense. You've lagged the server with all the chickens. But what's really funny about that? It's probably the chaos this brings to the server. I have to imagine that doing this to a Minecraft server ruins it for everybody. Like that you're going to see at some point, I'm hoping, the chickens unleashed on the world. I'm waiting for it. Maybe they saved it to the end. Where are all the chickens? I don't know.
Much clickbait going on there.
Yeah,
but that's why it didn't perform very well.
That's a thing too. You could have the best title and thumbnail in the world, but if people, and I'm not saying this creator did this, But if people feel like they didn't get the value from the video, from the click, they leave early. So that's why you see so many creators start their videos by kind of spoiling a little bit about what's going to happen later in the video, so they can like get you to stay. Like, no, I promise there's going to be like 2,000 chickens. That we did see some chickens. We skipped around a lot. I didn't want to like watch the whole video, obviously, so we can't say one way or another, but maybe that could be a thing. Are people clicking on this video and not getting what they were promised? So there's a couple different things that you can look at with a video that didn't perform as you would expect it to try and figure out like, what could I have done better?
All right, Dan, some next steps for this channel. Can you just sort by most popular, first of all? I'm assuming this one was like, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Can you just click on this one, which is, no, click on the one that's 3 months old, because that's a relatively new video. And then go to the description. My question is, have they got like any affiliate links, merchandising links? I don't think they have. So maybe they're missing some business opportunities there, given the size of a channel. So surely you got some like slogans or in jokes that maybe you can commercialize in some way.
There's some membership.
There is membership. If you go back to the channel itself, I think they're missing a huge opportunity with hardly doing any shorts. I think they've only done 2 shorts from what I can remember. Yeah, surely you can chop up some of your content and turn them into shorts, and you might just have that one mega viral moment, especially with Minecraft. You know, I joked 2 years ago, the best way to grow on YouTube is to start a Minecraft shorts channel, and you have 1,000 subscribers within like a couple of weeks. I still think that could be true to a certain extent. And like, I think there's a potential here for one of their shorts to get like 15 to 20 million views. And that's just going to open up a brand new audience. And I was just thinking as well, Dan, because remember, going back to the Farzi conversation, at one point he did hire an editor, didn't he?
Yeah.
To try and help him with output. And given that this creator is probably now earning, you know, some income from ad revenue, is there potential to outsource and get some help editing so that allows you to just focus on the building and the stories of the videos and let somebody else edit it? And then you can maybe do 2 videos a month. I don't know. That's just like, I'm just thinking of how to, I'm thinking of empire building for this channel. You know, they're at that stage now where there are 100,000 subscribers. Hopefully they've got their silver play button. How do we get into a gold play button? And those are the things I'm thinking about.
Well, I say keep uploading infrequently. Keep doing these once a month, hardcore, super well produced and researched videos. Because I'm telling you, like, taking your time, especially once you've kind of got stuff figured out for your channel, like with the direction you're going in, you've done YouTube a bit, you kind of know what you're doing, like taking your time with your videos. I think that's like the strategy right now. Honestly, my opinion is that YouTube is kind of now a place once again for quality over quantity. I think YouTube would tell you that themselves. There are plenty of instances where you should be uploading more and frequently and often, and I think Shorts is a good example of that. But it's clear to me that you could not be getting these numbers if you were trying to pump out a video a week, a video a day. It would not be possible without a whole team of people behind you, and that would be an expensive way to run a channel. Sure, the profit would kind of work out, but still, take your time and keep doing these really well-researched videos. Excellent work. We're going to check out the next channel now, and that is going to be AndyThePyro, which is one you picked.
It is, because everybody needs a bit of fire starting in their life, and let's hope we can all start fires sensibly and responsibly after this live stream. I don't know where I'm going with this, Dan. Please help me out.
You're going to get us into a lot of trouble.
So the channel has 35,000 subscribers, which is awesome. I haven't seen a fireworks channel before. I also think that this is perhaps a little bit of a challenging topic on YouTube, because it probably just brushes up a little bit against community guidelines, advertiser-friendly guidelines, and that type of thing. Because, you know, maybe fireworks are readily available to purchase in all countries. So, I don't know, maybe there are some restrictions. But it looks as if this channel is falling on the right side of that, which is fantastic. And I kind of equate this channel down to like a Domino's channel, where there's kind of like a visually satisfying aspect to each of these videos. And it's all in the moment when, you know, either the dominoes start falling or the fireworks start popping in this case. And again, I think Shorts is an opportunity, which I can't remember if they are taking advantage of or not. So let's just click on the tab. I'll be doing many shots, and I haven't done that many shorts yet there. So I think there is an opportunity there to
good views though.
Clip some stuff. Yeah, again, good views. I think what I might say about the
Great
videos
thumbnail, by the way.
Great accidental thumbnail. Yeah. Although you can now pick a custom thumbnail from the shorts. I'm actually literally in the middle of making a video about that.
It just on mobile, or it was on desktop?
So it's just on Android at the moment. And
I've had that.
I wonder on iOS. Yeah, I know, but I'm making it. Darn, you're spoiling the video that I'm about to make. No one's going to watch it now. So if you scroll down, I think, given that this is a fireworks channel, I don't know, would just fireworks, impressive firework explosions in a thumbnail sell it? I don't know if that is true or not. Maybe you need like a huge rocket that you're just lighting, and that's kind of the preamble to the big explosion. That might be the type of thumbnail that you want.
I like stuff like this where we like you say it's a fireworks show, and when I look at the canisters, I'm like, oh, the fireworks were in those giant canisters, and it kind of clicks with me. And I mean, 18,000 views on this, but I think this looks a little bit more interesting. Just seeing the behind the scenes of a fireworks show, which not a lot of people see.
Yeah.
Versus just a firework exploding. Yeah, I say that, but it has 3 million views, so never mind me. That's a cool picture, though. That's like, that thing looks amazing.
So yeah, I guess the conversation is, what thumbnail strategy do you go for? Like the pre-explosion view of a firework, or the result of a firework itself? Or yeah, there you go. The split, like this firework turns into this explosion. That's a good idea. So I just think some of these thumbnails are somewhat lacking. Dan, they feel a little bit like freeze frames from the videos, whereas some the creators put a bit more time into it.
When they split it,
that's why they're getting spiky views.
When they split it, they're getting hundreds of thousands of views.
So my most popular. See if there's a theme there.
One of them's just playing, and I can't. There we go. So split thumbnail, not split, 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 split.
Yeah,
not split.
So like, hey, let's try and do the next 10 videos with that split thumbnail design. So that's going to add like a consistency and branding to the videos as well.
Yeah. That's a really cool. Like I've seen a lot of channels try and use like fireworks as a thumbnail. And what often happens, I don't know if you ever tried to take a photo of fireworks before, especially on a phone. Like, it doesn't look good. It never looks good.
It's a challenge, isn't it? Because you're taking a picture in the dark of something that's hundreds of feet away.
Yeah. So they're doing a really good job, because this is the most detail I've ever seen in like fireworks photos, especially for thumbnails on YouTube. And I think that's a learned skill. I think they had to sit down and like figure out, okay, how can I get the best high quality photo of fireworks? They had to learn that skill in order to help get their channel some attention on YouTube. They had to learn an additional skill. Does everybody who has a YouTube channel hear what I'm saying? Sometimes to grow on YouTube, it's not just listening to us say things. Sometimes it takes learning and a skill outside of YouTube to try and like benefit your channel. And that's one thing this person had to do. They had to learn a little bit about photography, and it paid off. 3 million views on a gorgeous thumbnail.
Lovely stuff.
Yes. AndyThePyro, great name for your channel. I hope that doesn't get you in any trouble with YouTube community guidelines, but I'm sure you're fine. And congrats on almost having 100 videos. So that's cool too. Keep doing shorts. That's all my advice. I mean, this is a really interesting find.
What about titles? Let's have a quick look at the titles.
Sure.
Relatively short. Revenge of the Girandolas. I guess that has a bit of intrigue to it. Finally got these salute one-shots from Funke. 4 12-inch and 3 16-inch fireworks shells. That feels a bit just generic keywordy, but the video performed really well.
Fireworks shells are something I understand. What I don't understand as a layman is the salute one-shots from whatever brand. That doesn't mean anything to me. I think that's like, to me, what I'm noticing. When you talk about fireworks in the title, lots of views. When you have titles that are like these 2-inch cakes are cakes, you know, they don't look like cakes, but they don't look like fireworks either. So what are they?
Yeah.
If you confuse, you lose.
They look like trading cards to me from the thumbnail.
Yeah. So that's an issue for me. I do think that big versus small fireworks shells, this is a cool thumbnail. It just didn't do very well. I don't know if there's another way to demonstrate this, but I would think that this combination would do very well.
I wonder if them being in snow just really confuses the viewer. Like, well, this is about fireworks, but you planted them in the snow. What, I don't associate whites with fireworks. I don't know. I'm just theorizing.
Yeah, no, it's a good call out. So those are just some things I noticed when you started talking about titles. Are we ready to move on?
We are ready to move on, Dan. Shall we take some super chats?
Yes, let's do that. Thank you all for your super chats. Again, super chats do not equal channel audits. TKR Media, we are live. Yes. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you. News India, thank you for the super. Appreciate that. Lunar Outlaws Garage says, shout out to you guys. I completely changed my editing and thumbnail style, and the video I just posted is killing it. Thank you guys. I'm very glad.
Nice. Well done. Well done.
I don't know if we've ever seen that channel, and I just want to point that out because that means they're taking notes. They're watching the content. They're applying what they're learning, and it's irrelevant whether or not we see their channel on stream. So congrats to you. Thank you for letting us know the things are going well.
I'm forgetting I need to do like the sound effect on the light change. So what? We just had 2 there, right? Or was it 3?
This is the 3rd one.
All right, hang on. So that's the first one. That's the previous one, and now this is Lunar Outlaw Garage. Come on, Stream Deck. I've got to wait for it to cycle through because it's like a multitask.
Yeah. Mindful Machines.
Oh.
Wait for Q Rob. All right. I struggle with perfectionism. I struggle a lot with uploading quality versus quantity. Give me some advice. So give me some sage advice / motivation.
This isn't going to be sage advice. This is going to just degenerate into an argument. I guarantee it.
You're the problem.
No. So I think I'm trying to find a good way to sum this up. And Tim Schmoy said this, like in just a random conversation. I don't know when it was, but it's something along the lines of quantity when you're learning, quality when you're trying to influence, or something along those lines. Like, if you don't think you're very good at something, then it's maybe better to produce more videos just because it gets you to go through the process and you learn a craft. Yeah. But once you're clear with your messaging and your skills, then you can really focus on making it the best video can possibly be for your audience. So I would say, if you're still struggling with click-through rate or watch time or views in general, then you probably want to continue to create more videos to go through the process over and over again. Some people will say make 50 to 100 videos because they're all going to suck, but video 100 is going to be miles better than video 1 in that journey. Dan, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I agree. I think if you're not good at something in life in general, practice, right? And one of the ways you can practice when it comes to making YouTube videos is to make YouTube videos. And you're going to learn every step of the process over and over again because you're practicing, you're trying to get better. Sometimes you may feel like you're getting better, but you're uploading at the same frequency, meaning like, let's say once a day, and you're still not meeting your goals. That's when like the balance starts to shift and you're like, okay, I feel like I'm pretty confident with titles. I feel like I'm pretty confident with thumbnails. I feel like I'm getting better, but to keep up with this crazy upload schedule, it's not sustainable. Like, that's the thing I've learned through time, like trying to, start channels and try different things. Taking my time always kind of paid off once I kind of figured out the direction I was going in. And with every new channel I've tried, I've had to kind of sit down and relearn the audience that I'm trying to cater the content to. And again, I asked myself the question, well, how often should I upload? It's about knowing myself. One of the ways I learn is to throw myself into something, not fully understanding what the heck it is I'm doing. And everyone's different. Every single person's different, which is why when people ask us, what should I do? It's always like, it depends, because what does it depend on? It depends on you. It depends on how you learn and how you go through life. And so for me, I learn by doing. I learn by just throwing myself all in on something and hoping for the best and crossing my fingers real hard. And so I'll first start posting, and then every video I post is a learning opportunity. I'm going to look at that video a day after it's uploaded, a week after it's uploaded. How's it doing? Has it continued getting views? Has it stopped completely? What kind of title did I use? What was the thumbnail? Like, why did this stop getting views? And once I kind of get it figured out, I want to slow down. I want to take a break because I have other things I'm doing. I want to enjoy my life, So there's a lot to be said for taking your time and striking a balance.
Whew. Wow. Knowledge bomb there from Dan.
Anth, thank you for the super. Thank you for helping me get to 1K this year. Congrats. I got partnered in 4 days after applying for the partner program. Your great advice helped me massively. Thank you. Thank you.
4 days?
After they applied.
Oh, sorry. I was about to say, forget everything we're saying. Let's go over to his channel and just follow all his advice. But yeah, well done. 4 days. Brilliant stuff.
Nerd Gaming or NRD, I'm not sure which.
Steady on. All right.
Gotta get that thing working faster. Hey guys, start to test long plus shorts today. Thank you for your knowledge you share. Really helps. Best of luck. Let us know how it goes. Old Man Gib, thanks for being here once again. Thanks a million. All just a tip from an old man. If you are able, open your channel up to self-edit while Dan and Rob are editing channels. You'll be amazed at what you find on your own. Good luck. Oh, okay. So this is a message to the audience. Old Man Gib is suggesting that you guys pull up your channels, as Rob always says, on a second screen, and compare side by side. Listen to what we're saying, and constantly do that. Take notes. That could be just as good as getting an audit of your actual channel.
Cool looking avatar there as well. Look
oh yeah, that's been updated. Looks really good. Ferret Tube. Is anyone else constantly looking for the P in the background after watching the recent thumbnail advice video they post?
It's there. It's there. And if anybody finds it, they'll get a free channel audit.
Do you really still have that disgusting P sitting on your shelf somewhere?
It's not really there.
And then Taff, thank you. We'll get back to looking at channels right after this. First time on this stream. I'm new to making content. Let's plays. You guys are super helpful. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. If I had known a channel like this existed when I first started on YouTube, and I don't know if any did when I first started, I would have spent a lot of time, or a lot less time, spinning my wheels. I did Let's Plays for a really long time. That's why I'm so passionate when we see a gaming channel, because when I see a channel not making the mistakes I was making, it feels really good. When I see a channel making the mistakes I was making, alarm bells go off in my head, and I want to help that person. So thank you for sharing that, and best of luck on your channel.
Thank you. Thank you.
So let's take a look at some more channels. I do see more super chats coming in. Thank you guys so much. We will get back to those in a little bit, but we're going to take a look at our next channel, and it is Freakenstein. Are you getting the music?
Yeah, I'm just
okay. I was about to go over there.
I'm fixing it. I'm fixing it. Done.
Freakenstein with 379 subscribers. They're a Transformers fan. They do Transformers trivia and toy reviews and something. It got cut off, but I assume it's about Transformers.
Could you imagine if it was something like Ciroc dancing or trombone lessons? It's like it was just cut off, but something really weird and alternative. Oh, it's transformations. That's fine. Okay. Nothing wrong there.
Transformers tend to do that. Cool. So I did pick this channel, and I picked it because I feel like they could use some help with thumbnails. That was immediately what I noticed.
After 500 plus videos as well. Wow, that's a lot of videos to have thumbnails of a current standard.
It's yes. I think this is a great example of what I was just saying about doing YouTube for a long time and spinning my wheels. And I wonder if this channel feels the same way, even a little bit, where they've been posting and posting and posting, and they still can't necessarily consistently at least crack 100 views or 200 views. They struggle. And I think it's the thumbnails 1000%. That is definitely the issue, because each one of these is making me have to think about what I'm getting out of the video. Like what is the video about?
You have to look at them for at least 5 to 10 seconds to try and decode them, don't you?
Yep. If you guys want to see how I scroll through YouTube, this is a homepage. This is about my speed right here. Maybe a little tiny bit slower, especially if something is slowing me down. Beat Fear. What's this from Fake Media? So that's when we say stop the scroll, this is what we're talking about. I can already tell you I'm not interested in any of these videos. Not really going into these ones. It's nothing here so far is getting me to stop. Like
something's caught my attention there. Scroll back up. Was that a giant locust cornering a spider? Just a little further up.
Oh God, I can't look at that.
On Earth?
Yeah, freaks me out. Anyway, so that's what you're up against. Your videos will appear on somebody's home feed. YouTube is going to test out your videos on somebody. And imagine if this thumbnail popped up, even at a larger size, these nice large thumbnails here. Can anyone figure out what the heck is going on in your content? when they're scrolling. What's going to get them to stop? And I think what you're doing is spending a lot of time on these. It looks like you're spending a lot of time on them. It looks like you have to find a background, okay? A cool looking neon background. Then you got to find something that's going to say, well, what's the video about? Well, it's about Transformers. So I'll get the logo and I'll put it at the top. And okay, well, that doesn't really say anything. Let me put my character, my trademark character in the thumbnail so everyone knows it's me, okay? So we already have 3 elements there. Crazy looking background, logo, and you. But then you added 2 more elements in this one, toy trivia, and then take a guess in the comments. 2 things that definitely like don't need to be there, but if they were gone, we still wouldn't know what it's about. I think trivia is going to be the focus of this video. So toy trivia, 1 element with, text stacked on top of itself. Toy trivia. A blurry background that doesn't draw too much attention to itself, so we don't even count that as an element. That's what we need there. And then a toy. Having you in a helmet is cool, and you've used it in a lot of thumbnails, but it hasn't really paid off. I would get rid of that character. Find a toy related to the trivia you're doing and make that the focus of the thumbnail, front and center. That's just a couple things. Text, focus, and a background that doesn't draw too much attention to itself. That's all we need here. But all of your thumbnails just go so far, like so much text, so many different pieces of imagery, like this one, Transformers KO Prime Cliff Jumper. So there's like a snowy background that's not blurred out, so it's very sharp and drawing a lot of attention to itself. We have a transformer on the left, but you should put the whole thing in there so it can't really see what's going on. And you have a car that is just looks like a car. Honestly, I know it's a transformer supposed to turn into the car, but it's not really translating to me. So there's a lot going on in thumbnails like this, and that is definitely slowing you down.
Just a quick
announcement here from Old Man Gib. It was a praying mantis, not a giant locust, a praying mantis on the thumbnail.
Thank you for that. Some of these video ideas, I think, Dan, as well, maybe aren't worthy of long form content. For example, the Transformer trivia ones, they're all only a minute long. You could put them straight into the community tab if you've got access to the quiz tool, or you should do pretty soon, or as a YouTube shorts. Might be worth doing them as quick 20 to 30-second ones in there. But I mean, these aren't custom thumbnails, but they are like clips from the videos, and these look incredibly chaotic and jumbled as well. I think the general advice to this creator is, from this point on, simplify everything that you do. So don't try and communicate everything all at once, whether it's in the thumbnails, the titles, the videos themselves. Try to be more clear with your content. And yeah, including what I think is your logo, which is a transformer in the bottom left-hand corner of all of the thumbnails, really confuses me, because there's another transformer in the thumbnail as well. So it's always competing against what should be the hero of the thumbnail. But Dan, I think you covered all of this quite extensively. I think it's time to produce. I think this is where we would say produce less videos, because you're producing one at least 4 or 5 a week. And instead of producing that extra video, spend a little bit more time researching or developing the thumbnail skills, because it will take you far.
So best of luck to Freakenstein. Now, before we get to our next channel, let's welcome in our 3rd channel auditor of the day. It's Viper.
Oh, that was quick. What's up, Dan? Welcome back. What's up, Rob? How you doing, sir?
I'm doing very well, Viper. How are you?
I'm good. Glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
I'm missing the energetic introduction. Like, Dan, can we get in full screen and let's just redo this? All right, I'll count you down.
All right.
Bye. Hang on. Whoa. I need to put the public announcement.
5, 4, 3, 2,
1.
What's up, people? This your boy Viper, the man about tech, also the head of social media here at vidIQ. And y'all know me, I come on these live streams from time to time. I'm on the street, I'm on the scene, in the stream. We here, we live, we ready. Let's order some channels out here, bro. Let's go.
We did it.
We need some merch that says, oh, what was it? On the stream, in the scene. I like
on the scene, in the stream. Yep.
So we will take a look at our next channel then. And shall we give Viper first crack?
Sure.
All right. It's Teelens Visual. They have 3,000 subscribers, 168 videos, and it looks like a video about maybe skincare, or maybe
It's interesting to
Photoshop.
say that, Dan.
Go ahead, Viper.
Okay, can we go scroll back up to the banner real quick?
Oh yes, Photoshop.
Okay, Photoshop tutorial, Photoshop. Okay, capture one tutorial, Lightroom tutorial. That's a lot of stuff going on in that banner. Okay. Well, clearly this person knows what they're doing with the thumbnails. Obviously, from what they do, it looks like they're very good at thumbnail creation, which makes sense since this is a Photoshop channel. The Photoshop logo is bigger on some of these thumbnails and smaller on others. I kind of feel like if Photoshop is your thing and that's what the channel is going to be about, I should be able to see that Photoshop that logo in the thumbnail and identify it pretty quickly. And again, I'm not sure why it's different dimensions on different thumbnails, so that kind of throwing me off. I kind of feel like the Photoshop logo should be the same size in every thumbnail. It should literally jump off at the page at me, but I mean, hell, in some of these thumbnails it's not even there. So I'm a little confused about that. Otherwise, let's have a look at these titles and see what these titles are talking about. Let's see. We got never lose skin texture again. Okay. A step-by-step guide to matching skin color. Say goodbye to manual skin retouching. Okay. Pretty straightforward titles. All right. The views. Oh, okay. 12 views in 41 minutes. I think, okay. So this most recent video has 12 views in 41 minutes or whatever. That's kind of on the low side, especially for your subscriber count. I feel like that thumbnail is doing a little bit too much. So I think that might be a reason why that particular video is not performing. You got 2 pictures on the thumbnail. Obviously, you got they're changing the skin tone, but I don't know. I just looking at it from a far out, zoomed out view, the thumbnail is doing too much, and that text is hard to see. So you might want to reconsider that particular thumbnail for your current video because it's not working, and obviously the video is not getting views. So the thumbnail needs to be reworked. The title, I feel like, is the title is fine. I don't think you need to put in Photoshop, since I mean the channel is about Photoshop. I'm pretty sure it's all over your metadata. I don't know if you need to put Photoshop in the title, especially if you have the logo in the thumbnail. I just feel like you're just repeating yourself. So those are some of my preliminary thoughts. What do you guys think?
I think I picked this channel because it was interesting in its approach to the niche. Obviously, it's a channel about Photoshop and other photographic software tutorials. But what I found interesting was obviously the thumbnails, because they've decided to approach a very particular audience, potentially with skin tones. And I think this is a common theme with technology, in that it can be difficult for certain smartphones to take the right image of skin tones for people, and there's a technology, there's software here to fix it. And so what I feel is if they've really drilled down into a potential target audience without necessarily promoting that strongly in the channel banner, it's just like the theme throughout the thumbnails, which I thought was interesting and good. Is it going to really limit your broader audience long term? That remains to be seen. You did raise an interesting question here, Viper, about should you include Photoshop in the title? And I was actually undecided here. Yes, sometimes a logo is in a thumbnail, but maybe for just that extra little SEO juice, could you add in Photoshop for some of these? Like I'm looking at the second from the left, never lose skin texture again in Photoshop. I think this is something that the creator probably needs to do a bit of A/B testing on. Like a certain number of videos with the software in the title and a certain number out that doesn't include the software in the title. But yeah, as we say, given that this is a channel about photography, the thumbnails are going to be pretty strong. And I think generally speaking, these are strong thumbnails.
The reason I thought it was a skincare channel was because of this thumbnail here. The text kind of stood out to me.
Yeah.
It's perfect skin texture. And I didn't even catch the Photoshop logo in the corner. And it didn't say, obviously, Photoshop in the title. Most of them do, though. So it's kind of mostly my bad for the channel as a whole. But you do have to ask yourself that question when people scroll through YouTube. You know, now, presumably, search is going to drive a lot of traffic to this channel. So if you search for Photoshop perfect skin texture or something like that, and this video comes up, it'll all make sense in context.
I think if you sort by most popular, Dan, their search kingpin word might be retouching. That seems to, it's certainly the most popular, two most popular videos have that particular technique in the title. So, I mean, I built a channel on how to record your own iPhone screen with 150 plus videos. So I know you can approach the same topic over and over again. It's just whether or not you want to do that, and the worry of being pigeonholed as the person who does this, but only this on YouTube.
Yeah. There are experiment shorts as well. And one thing I will tell you about shorts of this nature is just remember that the people who are scrolling through this didn't necessarily ask to see a Photoshop tutorial. So you want to approach it from the aspect of like, look at this cool thing you can do, and understand that the people who are looking at that cool thing might not have Photoshop open and might not be like ready, able, or willing to play around with it at that current moment in time. And that's like kind of the power of shorts. So you can still do tutorials, and they will show up in search too, which I recommend you make these searchable as well, especially if it's just a quick tip. But you got to keep that other part of the audience in mind that's going to scroll and find it and go, hey, like, this looks cool. Visually, I'm like satisfied. This looks neat, but I'm definitely not like ready to play with it in Photoshop because I'm, you know, on the bus right now and I'm just watching some shorts. So just a few things to note there. All right. We'll look at the next channel.
Bit of sad news first, Dan.
What? Oh,
there's almost 700 people watching.
Oh.
And we only have 478 likes. So 200 people are letting us down right now.
Oh.
Please fix it.
Should we leave? Should we?
I mean,
200 people saying they don't like the stream.
So, yeah.
Lastly, walk out. Walk out.
We're out of here.
Love it. Oh, that's great.
We'll stay. I mean, I'll stay. EPICMAN 3D is the next channel. And they have 433 subscribers. And they do Blender tutorials. And I chose this channel.
I'm paid by the audit, so I need to come back.
We have to subtract this particular audit from your check now.
Oh.
I realized, or one of the things I saw with this channel was just the fact that like they're taking these really, really detailed thumbnails, and sometimes that works really well, sometimes not so much. Like an anomaly here to me is how to make simple, realistic interior in Blender. Pretty straightforward, and we see the interior looks good. Beginner's tutorial, sure. They did virtually the same exact video, but an apartment interior, and did not get a fraction of the views so far 9 days in. So what could have gone wrong there? Could be the length is double. Potentially, it could be that. It could be that maybe it looks too real. Maybe you did too good of a job, and people just don't know what it is they're looking at. The Blender logo is kind of tucked in there in the corner. I don't know. I'd be looking at things like that, trying to figure out, I'd be looking at my retention, like trying to figure out why that video didn't spread nearly as far as this one. But yeah, this was a channel that was very interesting to me. And one thing I was going to point out to them, depending on your stance on this, you may think this is awesome. You may not want to touch it, but there's a lot of AI programs now that can generate not just images, but like 3D renders. And you could look into that. You maybe, if you don't like the 3D renders, you know, you're an artist, you don't want AI meddling in what you're doing, then you can do a comparison and talk about, what you make is better. If you like it, or you want to try and figure out how to incorporate it into what you're doing, you could try and generate something and then put it in Blender and say, well, it got this wrong, let's alter this. There's a big opportunity right now in that space. I thought I'd point that out because a lot of channels I'm seeing that talk about images in general, art in general, that's like the context. That's what's trending right now.
The simple truth is AI is going to run YouTube in 12 months, and we'll be all busking for scraps on the street. Dan, can you go to our channel, vidIQ, and just go to our videos? Because I just want to show the audience something here. So can you see the one that says 4,000 hours? That, as I understand it, was made in Blender. So it's a really powerful 3D image rendered in a really complicated software that not that many people can use. All right. But it's really clickable. The video's doing well. Mm-hmm. If you go back to our hero channel, these are all rendered in Blender and yet they're really not exciting, clickable thumbnails. So there is still that logic gap between proficiency with the software, but not proficiency with the messaging. And so I think that's what the creator really needs to develop to make these more clickable. I look at the Blender progression video, the one with a really colorful, well-detailed donut, and then the McLaren car that's really hard to see. And I'm like, there's a disconnect there.
Yeah.
But like that's kind of going in the right direction. Like if that was just something that had more donuts in it, like how about 1 million really detailed donuts in it? Or like in our thumbnail where it was like a YouTube logo on a bed of monetization coins. What if it was like a bed of donuts with a McLaren gleaming in the middle on top of it? You know, that might be more clickable.
Yeah, it needs to be like going from like not good looking donut to realistic looking donut. Like it needs to be like a 1-for-1, you know, progression.
Made out of like 17 polygons or something.
Yeah. Going from donut to car. And you can do that. I know it's probably not true to life. Like maybe you started at donuts and went to cars, and that is progression, but it's about communicating that very clear message. So going from like, polygon donut to realistic donut is a way to visually say without saying like what you're actually showing in the video. Viper, I don't know if you noticed anything, or we're ready to move on to the next one.
So if we can go back up to like the right here. So this is like a thumbnail from the left, the how to make astronaut animation in Blender. This is a thumbnail template there. I'm pretty sure we see a lot on YouTube. You got the picture on the right or the left, and then you got the space where they have the text in there. The problem with this particular style of thumbnail is that the image that you're using gets truncated. It's like shrunken, and you don't get the full effect of the image because you are cutting it in half or doing something to highlight that text on the right side. So I kind of feel like there needs to be a better way for creators to relay this message without cutting the image off. Number one, you don't really need that much text. I always tell you guys 3 words or less as far as text goes. But when you are thinking about doing thumbnails, it's about the pictures. It's about the images. It's more about the pictures and the images than it is the text. So just remember that when you guys are creating your thumbnails. A picture is worth 1,000 words, you all. So just keep that in mind.
And Slavgard pointing out it's dark. I mean, I know it's space, but the astronaut should be popping off of the background. And it doesn't look animated to me. I know it's a picture, but like usually when you see animation, like they have a good example here. Like this looks like it's going to be animated to me, the dancing hairy man animation. But this looks like just a photo of an astronaut and doesn't look like it's going to have movement when I click on the video. You're claiming it does, but could you again have visualized it in a different way that makes it clear that like you're going to be taking the limbs and like moving them around, and then the astronaut's going to be like, you know, mobile after that. So good call out there. So EPICMAN 3D. Yes.
They do have an outlier here. How to make simple, realistic interior in Blender. That had 12,000 views. They did a follow-up just 9 days ago. It hasn't performed too well. I'm just curious, Dan, if you saw my most popular. They tried to double down anymore. No, so that was the definite outlier. When I looked at the titles, I was asking myself, is anybody searching for how to make an astronaut animation in Blender? Does that feel a bit too specific? How could you make that more accessible to a larger Blender audience? How to animate complex objects in Blender?
Zero gravity.
Oh, zero gravity. There you go, Dan. Yeah, so something maybe a bit more accessible for viewers. How to make framed photos in Blender. Is that something that's really desirable for people in Blender? We'd have to ask John this. It feels just so nuanced and so niche that I don't know how searchable it is, given that these are titled in a searchable format.
Yeah. So best of luck to EPICMAN. A lot to work with there. We'll go to, I believe, our final channel of the pre-selecteds, and then we're about to get into randoms. But before we talk about MuirlySims, sorry if I am definitely butchering your name. I apologize. I want to tell you why we're looking at this channel. It's because this channel submitted in one of our many Discord competitions that we run on our vidIQ Discord. So our vidIQ Discord is full of creators just like you, and we have all kinds of rooms for you to hang out in. This is one of my favorites, the thumbnail room, where people are sharing thumbnails and giving advice. There's so much to see here. You can share your achievements, and Vicky's doing such a great job at engaging our community over there. And so this channel was picked based on one of those challenges that was in Discord.
Props to the video there. That was nicely done and nicely narrated, Dan. I like that.
Oh yeah. That's an old one. I gotta update it. So they have 300 subscribers, 239 videos, and we're gonna take a look. This is a Sims 4 channel. It's a video game for those who don't know. And we'll just kind of see what they've been up to. I believe The Sims had like an update not that long ago where they added something to do with toddlers. I don't know. They basically made I think the growing up stages for infants in the game like more immersive and interesting. And so they are doing content on that more recent update. They're covering bug fixes, which means they're really staying on top of things going on in The Sims. Let's see. 3-bed house for too many infants challenge. I think what I'm seeing here, guys, is like the very classic like communication error. We've seen a lot of today now too, whereby the titles say something kind of interesting, but in this case, the thumbnails just don't communicate it. And so like the Sims 4 bug fixes are here. Here's what you need to know. And it says incoming bug fixes, and there's arrows pointing at nothing, basically. It says laundry list. And I think that's like a kind of just a way of like saying it's a laundry list of bugs. It's not saying that the laundry is being fixed necessarily. That's what I'm getting out of it, but I have to think about it pretty hard to kind of get there. And then the challenge video, 3-bed house for too many infants. I see the house, but I don't see enough indicating it's going to be full of infants. And one picture of like a top down of the house with infants crawling everywhere would have sufficed. I think that would have been like a good way to go. But like you've also chosen like a font that's kind of hard to read, and the picture isn't full frame. Like there's bars on the side of it, so you're kind of wasting some space there. Just some things I'm noticing as I look at this channel, that like some missed opportunities with their thumbnails.
Dan, the exception to what I completely agree with here is the one that's Sims 4 Lifespans, a complete guide. I think the thumbnail and it's right in the middle right now.
Yes.
I think the thumbnail and the title really communicate well there. It's easy to understand. You've got that visual transition of ages from a small baby to a fully grown human, and the title is matches it as well. So, you know, instant recognition. I like it. I would likely click on that. But as you say, the rest of them, the thumbnails are too flat, too dark, too muddy in terms of the images, difficult to gauge what I'm getting myself into, with the exception of that Sims 4 Lifespans. I think they should model their communication and thumbnail style on that video alone. And it's proven in the views as well. It's got more views than anything else that we can see on screen.
Mm-hmm. I want to point another one out. There's another specific example. There is a lot of promotional material that games put out when there's going to be an update. And this image here on the top right, what does this mean? Looks like one of those images. So this looks to me, if I had to assume, it's a teaser that EA put out based on the update that's going to happen eventually. Take me home, and there's boxes. And they're trying to say, what does this mean? And they got arrows pointing to all these like things that they're visually like going to talk about in the video that they're interested in. Unfortunately, on YouTube, when you're scrolling through, you see brown fence with brown boxes, and maybe you notice the text is, what does this mean? But it's not enough to get me to stop. What would get me to stop is a sim with a shocked face or something, or a character that you tend to use, maybe your face with a shocked face. And it says, huge update incoming. Just very simple text about an update that's coming out soon. And then you take this image and whatever promotional materials EA gave you, and you break it down in the video. But I think you try to get too clever with this thumbnail. And that's kind of a theme I'm seeing on this channel, is just they try and take their thumbnails and they're thinking too hard about them. Just what is going to get people to stop scrolling? And that's going to be important. Viper, look like you're about to jump in. I wanted to give you a chance to add.
So I love the dialogue that we're having about the thumbnails and the titles not lining up. So we talk a lot about how the title and the thumbnail should be complementary of each other. So I want you guys to think about it like this. You come up with a title, right? So whatever title you come up with, you want your thumbnail to complement that. And what we mean is whatever title that you come up with, the job of the thumbnail is to tell the story of the title. So what picture can you put as your thumbnail that tells the story of the title? If you think about it like that, it'll be a little bit easier to comprehend what we mean when we say compliment. But your thumbnail should tell the story of your title in picture form. That doesn't mean you over clutter the thumbnail with 1,000 words of text. Again, you shouldn't need that much text in your thumbnail, to be honest. Text just makes it cluttered and harder to understand. But if your thumbnail can tell the story of your title in picture form, That is what we are going for, and that gives your video the best chance of succeeding on the platform.
Mm-hmm. So there you go. What, you starting up something, Rob?
Yeah, why does everything just pause for a second? There we go. Right. I need a new computer, but also, I remember, Dan, I didn't do Gaming Corner earlier on. I like to ask everybody what video game they're playing right now, just to alienate all of the non-gaming channels here. So, Dan, what have you been playing this week in video game land?
I'm very boring, Rob. I've just been like, whenever I have time, like playing my RuneScape character and, you know, making gains.
That's all right. You were playing No Man's Sky last week, so you've switching from one to the other. Is it more resource gathering in just whatever game it is?
Whatever game offers the ability to gather resources, I will play it.
Viper, what are you currently sinking your gamepad into?
So I think it was a few days ago, I just finished the Resident Evil 4 remake on PS5. And I'm kind of taking a break because anybody who played through that game, it gets kind of annoying towards the back half with all the enemies they throw at you. So I'm on a game break.
I'm curious because I played Resident Evil 4 remake on VR, which was excellent. But do I play it for like a third time? You know, the original Wii version, the VR version, and then the PS5 version. I'm considering it.
Again, if you do, just be prepared for the annoying amount of enemies that get thrown at you.
Now, how's about this for a contrast of video games from one week to the other? Last week, I was playing Wolfenstein, Blood Omen or something, like one of the DLCs. Really fun, but super intense, alternative World War II first-person shooter. And I went from that, you know, like a Peggy 18, mature, whatever, to Super Lucky Tale. Has anybody ever played that?
No.
It is like basically a Mario clone platformer with a cartoony fox. Super simple, but I just needed like a palate cleanser. I needed to go from something super visceral and intense to just jumping around, collecting coins, four-leaf clovers. I think I just finished it this morning, and I may now move on to God of War Ragnarok. Oh yeah,
all over the place.
Yeah.
So that was Gaming Corner.
Thank you for allowing everyone me to indulge myself.
Thanks everyone who participated. There's a lot of folks sharing games they're playing. So we are now going to, or we'll soon start looking at channels that have submitted on the form, and we're going to randomly pick them. So get ready. If you haven't submitted, the forms are both linked down below. Be sure to submit to the correct one, and you could be picked. Before we do, though, we've also stacked up on Super Chats, which we need to get through some of these.
All right.
So one of them is Lamb's Quarters Farm, a farming channel. What do you think of the nature live cams that you can find? Are they something that can be successfully monetized? My cat likes them. I could say that.
I think they can, as long as it's original content. I guess the challenge is finding an audience who's interested in the nature live cams. Some tend to be more successful than others. I know sometimes farm live streams can be very successful at certain times of the year because people just have childish attitudes and find certain stuff during certain times of year funny. I don't know. Has anybody ever had any interest in watching a nature live cam? I haven't, I must confess.
Yeah, I watched like very few of them. Again, I'm not kidding. Like sometimes I'm looking for like cat TV, and I like to put something on, like a camera that's in a fixed position. Like if there's a bird flying or something, like cat will just lock onto it, and it's really fun to watch. But I don't really get anything out of it other than that. I still think it's valuable. I think that's funny. But yeah, I don't see why you couldn't monetize a channel like that. Absolutely.
I think a quick search on YouTube will give you an answer to that. Find what current nature live streams there are. Research your channel a little bit, and I'm sure you'll be able to find out very quickly if they are monetizing the content or not.
Some Dads Cook. Thank you so much. I've been binging your YouTube videos and vidIQ Academy for the last 2 weeks. Feel more confident now.
The vidIQ Academy. Wow, that's a blast from the past. Hope you're enjoying it. I remember making some of those videos. Like, I've got to be honest, because like they're in the academy and like not that many people watch them. I used to hate doing them, and I think I spent like 10 days once on how to use YouTube's analytics in the YouTube studio. But obviously it's 2 years old now, so it misses out a lot of information. But some of it's still valuable. So some Dads Cook, please do continue going through them. But yeah, I've not heard of the academy for a while.
Little Gamer. I think that's how you'd pronounce it. Been following your content for a while. I went from 63 subs to 293 in less than 2 months. Congrats.
Oh, yeah.
Growing slowly but surely. Thank you for great content.
1,000 subs by the end of the year.
I love that. It just goes to show that even if your channel doesn't get reviewed on these audits, you can still take some value from the audit, the content that we put out on the channel, and you can use it to grow and make your channel better. So kudos to you all for doing that.
We're not going to be reviewing channels based on supers, but we do appreciate your super and do apologize. Just to communicate that message once again, we cannot sell channel reviews. So do keep that in mind. Henry, thank you for submitting. Fantastic stream, chaps. Auditing my channel side by side. Joke question, but do you think you can do a con to challenge Spiffing Brit to a fencing duel would make for compelling content? Will you want us to challenge Spiffing Brit to a fencing duel?
That's what it sounds like.
I have no idea what's going on here.
That's all you, Rob. All you, baby.
Yeah.
Sure.
You're both probably on that side of the pond, so
Yeah.
And then MuirlySims, I'm sorry again, I'm trying so hard with your name. Thanks for the advice. I really struggle with thumbnails, so we'll definitely be taking what you said on board, especially with overthinking. Glad we can help. Thank you for being a part of our Discord community. Appreciate you. Delton Adams, what's the best way for more people to watch streams? Go ahead.
Treat them like videos when you pitch them to an audience in terms of a title and the thumbnail, and they take time to develop. It might not be surprising to find that if you do your first live stream and you have 100 subscribers, no one turns up. Still use it as an opportunity to practice presenting on live streams, because I guarantee you the one inevitable thing about live streams is that they go wrong. You will have all sorts of technical issues throughout your live streaming.
Crud. See what happens?
Well, that wasn't a technical glitch. That was just Dan being annoying. So I'm going to do the same thing to him.
Oh,
so yeah,
Lord.
just enjoy live streaming.
Oh,
all right, Dan,
God.
you can come back now. I don't want to do all of it.
Now we have a fight going on. All right.
All right, there you go.
Oh my God. Yeah, but like Dan said earlier about your thumbnails, you got to treat your live stream thumbnails like you would treat your regular video upload thumbnails. They need their own dedicated thumbnails. A lot of us, including myself, get a little lazy with the live stream thumbnail, but you gotta put work into those as well. So don't sleep on those.
Rather ironically and funnily, Dan and myself both said to our thumbnail designer at exactly the same time yesterday, we think we need new thumbnails for our live streams. Can you do it? So we were both thinking about the same thing at exactly the same time.
Yeah, you get to that point where you're like, time to update these. So yeah, stay tuned. Evie Pulse currently doesn't live stream or podcast. Where should our efforts go next for best discovery-related channel growth and awesomeness?
Well, discoverability and channel growth, just them two alone, the answer is YouTube Shorts. But it hasn't been proven yet whether you can be economically sustainable through YouTube Shorts by themselves. So I think we'll always go back to the tried and tested long-form format as your primary base, unless you are a dedicated specific shorts creator who is talented in that way.
If El Jefe was here, he would tell you to don't sleep on live streaming because they're searchable. They build a bond with your audience, and they have replay value depending on how you structure them. So live streams can be good.
I'm not saying Evie Pulse is saying this, but just as my general advice here, don't do anything on YouTube that you don't inherently want to do already.
True.
Based on solely the idea of getting discovered.
Yeah.
You should definitely try things if you're curious about them, shorts, live streams, whatever it is. But if you find that you're deciding to do a podcast or a live stream purely because you think, well, I'll just put myself out there more, you're kind of doing it for the wrong reason at that point. Like, is there value in a potential podcast idea? Or would you be excited to do that week after week, month after month, whatever it is? You have to enjoy what you're doing. That's like number one. And your audience will see right through it if you're not enjoying yourself. Philo Rogue here all the time. Thank you so much for another super. I haven't made it here in a bit, so glad to be here. I literally sit here all the time.
Glad to have you.
Yes. Ferret Tube. My tip for 24/7 nature cams is to use shorts to drive traffic to your live stream. Great idea, since you have the live badge on your avatar for short shelf.
Ooh.
Not to mention, there's always going to be like moments that happen during those live streams that you can be like, cute bird does cute thing. There's a channel you can look at that I've seen a lot right now. It's like kitten season. So there's a channel called Tiny Kittens HQ that's like always live. They have different like cats that they're fostering, cats that are in some kind of like feral cats basically that are having kittens, and they just put cameras on them. And they do clip moments and like, share those elsewhere. So that's great suggestion. Affinity says, you helped me so much. Thank you so much for sharing.
Oh, you helped me so much.
So much.
Yeah, thank you.
And then Shelly, and we'll get to some channels here. I was audited but received negative feedback instead of advice. A friend YouTube employee said all my videos so far are okay. Please give me advice if I was ever chosen by the almighty CLAAAW.
Audited by us.
Yeah, like who audited it? Was it us or was it somebody else? I'm confused there.
Yeah, hopefully.
My guess is that it's constructive criticism, because I will admit we do tend to find the faults in channels as opposed to the successes in them. Cool. If a friend of a YouTube employee saying that all your videos are okay, all right. I'm not going to argue with a YouTube employee. I can't remember what the size of the channel is or like the context of this message. So we apologize if you feel as if it's negative feedback. We're always trying to find what you submit your channel because you want to grow, and we are offering our advice, our knowledge, our wisdom, our hopefully motivation. And if you haven't feel that you got that, then I do apologize.
It could have been, maybe it was Savage.
But that now, well, there you go.
I don't know.
So before we go any further, I'm just curious. We have 648 people currently watching this live stream. So I'm just curious in the chat. Let me know who is watching us for the first time ever today. If you're watching us for the first time ever today, let me know in the chat.
Let's take a look at some channels that submitted on those forums down below and are just patiently waiting for us to potentially pick them. We're going to do so by using, where is it? The CLAAAW. There it is. So this is a random number picker. You've been submitting your channels. We got numbers attached to them based on the forums. We have almost 700 people on the non-gaming forum, and we have almost 500 people on the gaming forum. So we are just going to claw out a wow. Sorry, it was not muted for me. 685. Are we at 680? Oh my goodness. All right, we'll just go to the last one.
Yep.
I put the claw ahead a little bit just to cover our bases.
I always do that, and then it always picks a number above it, which is really annoying.
Yeah.
So is that like, what, 1,500 channel submissions this week? Good Lord.
And while they do that, I just want to welcome all of you first timers to the stream today. We appreciate and love the fact that you guys are here. Hopefully you're getting some value out of the stream. So once again, thank you for being here. And yeah, welcome. Welcome to vidIQ.
Yeah, is that the right channel, Dan?
Yeah, they have the same hyphens in the...
Okay.
Mr. Odd and End, I would recommend a new @handle for you, because the @handle is supposed to be like something that's like simple to kind of type. If anyone wants to like shout you out in a community tab or something, like that's just, you can see the link didn't quite work. I would recommend maybe trying to shorten this a bit. Like Mr. Odd and End is great. Like, try that without the hyphens. Personally, that's my advice there. What are we seeing? There's
have I got tons of shots? Oh, what's that thing in the bottom right corner?
It's a video box.
Oh,
but it's empty.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, that was strange. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So they are doing shorts.
About that pet dog, it looks like.
Yeah. Getting some varying views there, over 1,000 on a lot of them. And they do have some long form videos. They're posting very frequently on this side of the channel too. But it looks like sometimes they post a vertical video. They might not know, maybe they know, that shorts have to be under a minute long. So as soon as you go over that time frame, they become long form videos and they no longer go on the short shelf. So that's why sometimes videos are here and sometimes videos are here. You might be doing that on purpose, but just in case you weren't.
And when they post them as vertical videos, there's no attempt to do a custom thumbnail.
Mm-hmm.
From what I can see generally in these. So again, if you're forcing it to be a long form piece of content, then you should really dedicate some time to a thumbnail. I would say that the messaging's got to be really clear in terms of if it's trying to tell an interesting, comical, sad, funny, almost humanized story, or something that a human can relate to in terms of a story of a pet. And so when I look at titles such as Got a Question, it's not intriguing enough for me. Dixie and Little Boy, again, the title just is not intriguing. It's not clickable. Check out what Dixie says and Little Boy does. Okay, that has a bit more curiosity to it, but the thumbnail needs to support that with maybe what happened or what was about to happen with that little event. So the lowest common denominator, Dan, I would say here, thumbnails and titles.
Yep. Hashtags and titles don't really do anything. I did see a shorts hashtag or two in these videos that are definitely not the length of YouTube shorts. So probably good on me for pointing out that they have to be under a minute long, because maybe they didn't know that. And I would encourage you to go out and watch shorts of people's pets, because there are some channels that are just killing it right now, and they post consistently. And I would pay very close attention to not only the titles, but what's actually happening in the short, and try to see how your shorts are maybe different from theirs. Like what kind of music do they use? Like what would get someone to stop scrolling? Like I'd really ask yourself those questions. And if you can kind of like hone in on like what a successful pet channel does on YouTube short shelf, you then could start to mimic some of those practices and see similar views. Because dogs are adorable. Like there's no reason why people shouldn't be stopping and scrolling even more than the views you're getting now. Like these are good. I'd be happy with these views, but they can always be better.
Yeah, solid and consistent shorts views.
Mm-hmm. So there we go. That's the first channel. Unless Viper, you have anything to add?
I'm going to say the same thing that I say every week on these live streams, especially as it relates to newer creators. When you are first starting out on the platform, we don't know who you are. So because we don't know who you are, and as harsh as this sounds, in reality, we don't care about you. So it's your job to make us care. And when Dan and Rob are talking about how you title your videos, that's where it's at. You got to title your videos in such a way that we care about you. Why? You have to make us curious to want to watch your content. And if you don't take the time to title your video in such a way that piques our curiosity, you're not going to get many people to watch and stop and watch. It's just the reality of it. So your job as a new creator is to make me, Rob, Dan, and the rest of YouTube care about you. And the way you do that is through your titles and your thumbnails.
Mm-hmm. Best of luck. We will now pick from the gaming side of our random selections today. It keeps unmuting itself and scaring me.
We can't hear it, though.
Okay, good. Yeah, because it's very loud. That was number 8.
Over. The AI takeover is here.
Yeah, it's happening already. So, channel number 8 on the gaming forum, very early on here. It was Severlight Gaming. They say they do long form videos.
Let's play horror gaming. We've audited a few of them in the past.
Mm-hmm.
And the usual challenge is making thumbnails that are not incredibly dark. And so it's incredibly difficult to work out what's going on in a thumbnail. And this channel has the same challenge.
Absolutely. I'm seeing Roblox here. Now, it looks like they're playing games on itch, playing Roblox, so you're playing different kinds of games, but you're in the same genre. That's all fine. The games, especially when I see Roblox, there is one thing that clues me into a video being a Roblox video, and that is a Roblox character, because the characters in Roblox always look the same, and this would have been a great opportunity to put one of those characters in the thumbnail and get, some more views potentially from people who recognize, oh, Roblox. Oh, what game are you playing? Where's Cassie? Okay, cool. I know that game. And, so visual indicators, recognizable ones, super, super important in gaming.
We should probably spend a bit of time, Dan, just doing some research on like a good example of a horror gaming channel that does really clear, shocking thumbnails that we can maybe point each of these creators towards. I don't know if we may strike gold with the first ones that we search for. Is Markiplier still like just? Oh yeah, he's still playing some horror stuff.
Markiplier, I would say these like Markiplier's kind of. I'm gonna be really mean here and say phoned it in.
Yeah,
Like,
with thumbnails and the titles. Yeah,
when you're Markiplier, you just like lay back and
you can
chill
do
out.
that.
You can totally do that. So not a great example of today, but yeah, I'd be looking at some. I'm sure this creator knows of popular gaming channels that they follow that are in this genre. And
Let's try itch.io. Is that a game?
itch.io is a platform where people upload games. So it's not. You'll
okay.
probably find like game developer videos and things like that in there.
Silent Nights. Then is that a horror game? I'm just trying to read the.
Oh, this is a good one.
Okay, so can you just, from the 3 that we can see, how lighting is used more effectively?
Yeah,
but it still has tension. It still
this
has
is
that scare
classic.
effect. Yeah,
like putting you in the thumbnail and making this the scariest face you can, or face of you being scared, and then something coming through a door or something. It's just classic horror gaming channel. And that was video from 3 weeks ago, so this game's pretty popular.
Yeah.
I think those are the suggestions, honestly.
So should that creator then, in this respect, because what is every single game, every single video a different game as well?
It looks to be a little bit, and they're in their video is in the video, like they put their webcam on.
So Silent Nights, should you do? Or maybe it's too late now because that's the latest video. It's 2 weeks old. Should they have done like a 10 series playthrough of it while the game was hot?
Yeah, I would be constantly looking in this category. You need to be looking at like the latest greatest games in this genre to try and stay on top of trends, and doing long form like kind of playthroughs. Try to avoid episode 1, episode 2, but what's something crazy that happened in the video, make that the title and the thumbnail. Just our general advice. We do have some videos linked down below. They all have been updated. If you are a gaming channel and you're looking for some more in-depth advice specifically for gaming channels, we have basically a playlist in the description of videos you can check out. If no one else has anything else, we will go on to the next one. All right, next non-gaming channel. 642. 642. It's really staying on the other end.
It's rigged. We all know it's rigged, Dan. We just try not to admit it.
Lessons, Science, Tech. They have 1,000 subscribers. They make long form videos. Talked a lot there. Who would like to go first?
Whoa! Look at them thumbnails.
Yeah. So
can we go to shorts? I'm trying to figure out how they've got 1,000 subscribers. Okay, so it's nothing. It's not from anything they're publishing right now.
Could be unlisted content.
Yeah, could be unlisted. Just go to the about section. Okay, so it's nothing to do with what's currently there. As you said, Dan, it might be unlisted stuff that was on previously. Let's go back to the videos then. They are different. I will give that in terms of the thumbnails, and they are readable. If these thumbnails had proven to be working, then I would say, hey, you are completely unique on YouTube. Continue to use these thumbnails. But from the 5 videos that you published, one video's got just over 10 views. I would say that just repeating the text from the title in the thumbnail is not working. So if we look, for example, at "You will not understand math until you do this," that is a perfectly good title, but the thumbnail has to create something really intriguing to back that up. Whether it's an equation with like a blurred out result in there, or something
the word easy with an arrow pointing at it.
Yeah, easy, like a formula that spells easy and like different, I don't know, math equations and symbols. Try and be a bit more inventive in that respect. I guess the other question I would ask as well, and this is really important for this type of channel, is what is your target audience? Is it kindergarten? Is it grade 2? Is it grade 11? Is it university students? Is it like people who just have been disadvantaged previously in life, but now they want to learn something, want to catch up with their education? That's important because I don't know if teach learn anything on your own that is so vague. I don't know who that appeals to. Understand math easily. There are certain levels of math. Like I loved math until all the numbers changed to letters and it became algebra. And then I hated maths. So like, am I just going to learn my times table from that? Or am I going to understand A plus B equals C squared, et cetera, et cetera? Viper keeps pointing at me as if I'm like the
because you are nailing it. You are nailing this channel audit, Rob. The problem with this channel and everything that's on the channel is there is way too much ambiguity, and that might be a big word. So let me kind of down it down a little bit. The problem is these videos and this content is missing context, meaning, like Rob said, understand math. There's a lot of different math. There's algebra, there's calculus, there's discrete math, there's statistics, there's probability, like addition, subtraction, multiplication. Like, what math are we trying to understand here? The viewer needs to know what they're getting themselves into. And because of the ambiguity of the content, we don't know. And because we don't know, that makes it much less likely for me to click on the video if I don't know what I'm going to get, or at least have a little bit of an idea of what I'm going to get. So because of the strong lack of context in the content, I'm less likely to click on these videos because I just don't know. Like it should, I mean, we always talk about leaving an element of intrigue in your title and thumbnail, but there's a such thing as too much intrigue. You know, I need to know something, and in this content, we know nothing. So this creator needs to like drill down a lot to try to give us an idea of what to expect from these videos.
Comment I want to point out. It's infuriating that they got almost no content and have multiplied my subs by 10. I want, just if anyone's feeling that way, I want you guys to know that there's like no reason to feel that way. Like I get it, but you're comparing yourself to somebody else where you don't know anything about their channel. They could have had 100 videos on this channel and they've tried to niche down, like taking our advice and unlisting a bunch of videos. They could have bought the subs. Not that I'm not saying they did, but that's a thing people do. Try not to think about that. Like, and don't think we don't mean it when we say things like subs don't matter. They obviously don't matter. 1,000 subscribers, 9 views, 6 views, 3 views. That's what we're trying to help with. Where it doesn't, this number is a vanity metric. It does very little. There's a couple things it does, but very little. And you really want to focus on the quality of your content and the views each individual video is getting. That's one thing for me. And yeah, I agree with every bit of advice you guys have given. I was going to say some other stuff, but you guys already took the words out of my mouth. Mainly focusing on like that target audience, who like what kind of math, like great.
That's the about section. Does it mention it there at all?
Clear, concise, and informative lessons and answers to questions from all over the interwebs.
So I disagree with the first word. It's not clear.
No, it's not.
You've lost me there. So let's try and be more clear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Question for EXPLANIA free lessons. What type of student do you want to educate with every single video that you make? And I want you to give me a 200-word description of this person. When you've done that, make 100 videos for that person.
Mm-hmm.
When you try to reach everybody, you reach nobody.
Mm-hmm. So there you go. We got another question. This is one in the form of a super chat, and it's going to lead me into the next thing I want to talk about before we get back to channels. Shelly asks us, which of these numbers are most important when using vidIQ Keyword Inspector tool? Related score, search volume, competition, or overall score?
Ooh, that is a very good question. I mean, they're all important. I think the one that I probably look at personally most is search volume, because that tells me how trendy that particular search word is. Like how many people are actually looking at that particular term. So if the search volume is high, I get a little bit more excited about doing a video about that particular topic, because that shows interest in that topic. If the search volume is a little bit on the low side, then maybe there's not much interest in that topic, and I might look for another topic. But that's just me.
Keyword Inspector, like the overall score kind of takes all of that information, right? And like kind of gives you a number and helps you out of 100, score out of 100, determine if that's a keyword you want to chase down. The reason I wanted to bring this comment up is because while Keyword Inspector is one place you can hang out and try and make some searchable videos, there are other vidIQ tools that we're working on right now that I also want you to consider, because search is just one part of the equation. You also want to be ranking in browse. When I say browse, I mean here on the home feed. When somebody, the first time someone logs into YouTube for the day, this is kind of what they're going to see. Some different videos that cater to their interests. And you want your videos to be here for anyone who's ever seen your channel or might want to see your channel. And the reason I bring this up is because we have a new tool that you guys can try out right now by going to vidiq.com/generate. This is an AI content generator for YouTube. And it's going to allow you to start the video making process with just a couple of keywords. Rob, we talked about this a little bit before the stream started today about like maybe what one should we play with today. One of them was like Minecraft survival, right? That's one we wanted to try.
Sure.
Minecraft survival. So I'm a Minecraft channel right now. I'm trying to like make my next video. What the heck am I even going to make it about? What's going on? We hit go. Our AI is going to think for a little bit and then start to create every bit of information we need to get started. Just a nice jumping off point. So, Ultimate Minecraft Survival Guide. How do I feel about this title? Is it too vague? Or was I trying to create an ultimate guide? I don't know. I would maybe go back and keep playing with keywords to try and figure out like what I can do to be more specific. The more information you give this, the more you're going to get out of it. But we did a very basic search. Description. Welcome to the Ultimate Minecraft Survival Guide. In this video, we'll be exploring the basics of surviving in Minecraft. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but you kind of get the point there. You can copy it. There's a script to kind of get you started. Welcome to the Ultimate Minecraft Survival Guide. If you're just starting on Minecraft, survival mode can be tough, but with a few tips and tricks, you're able to thrive in this blocky world. Well, that's a great hook. I might use that verbatim, or I might change it up a little bit. We would always encourage you to take anything this gives you and use it as a jumping off point. Use it as a little bit of inspiration, because a lot of times, if you notice with AI tools, sometimes it gets things dead on, and sometimes it's wrong. So you want to fact check it as well. But ultimately, a great place to start, and if you can't see this, I'll zoom in a little bit. It's a great place to start if you're just trying to make a video. And there's even an AI voiceover that will read this for you if you want to hear how it sounds, however you want to go about that. And then, of course, one of my favorite parts of this tool is the thumbnail backgrounds. It did a really good job encapsulating the world, the blocky world of Minecraft, like the trees. Like this is all pretty accurate. Would I use this? Yeah, probably. I'd probably blur this out as a background. This saves me a step in my thumbnail creation process. I don't think I'd use the character. I don't know what's attached to its arm. I don't know what happened there. But again, this is one of the tools we're working on. It's very early access. And this is the state it's in today. So check back with us in a month's time.
Yeah.
Rob, what do you have to say?
This is the worst this tool is ever going to be. And within 10 seconds, it's giving you a canvas to work with. Title, description, keywords, start of a script. And, you know, if you're not confident in front of the camera and then you need a voiceover, then it's there for you to use. And yeah, as you say, Dan, the thumbnails here are not bad. If you're useless at thumbnails, then you could take this and just add some text to the right-hand side or above it. And at least that would be better than a screenshot. But the best news about this right now is that it is completely free. Oh, yes, I'll press a button just for all of you. Completely free. That's you getting money back because it doesn't cost you any money. And we would appreciate your feedback. I'm calling this right now version 0.1 of the only YouTube tool I will ever need in the future. Because this, in 6 to 12 months' time, whew, I tell you, it's going to be super powerful. Mm-hmm. So be aware of it. I've just added a link in the description. So if you refresh the live stream, you should just be able to click on the link and it'll take you directly to the page and you can start playing with it.
There you go. Ready to move on to the next channel?
All right.
All right. Thank you for all your supers. We're trying to collect all of those. As we get towards the top of the hour, there's a chance we may not get to all of them. So do keep that in mind if you're still giving super chats. We really, really appreciate it. We'll do our best to get to all of them. All right, this is going to be a gaming channel, 54. The gaming form is really sticking to the beginning.
You were fast there, Dan. I almost didn't get a sound effect in.
All right, well, we gotta go. We gotta hurry. Ashi's waiting. 252 subscribers, and they are doing Minecraft, Roblox, maybe just Roblox.
What's happened with these screenshots at the very top then?
I don't know. Looks like they just kind of took an image and put it on YouTube or something. I'm not really sure. The thumbnails are kind of all over the place too. Like this one doesn't look like it's from the same channel at all, which is always a little troubling. I would say this channel would do well to check out some of our videos about starting a gaming channel, a channel in general, because I think we're all thinking the same thing. We want to give like all the general advice we always give a channel that looks like it's kind of just starting out, trying to figure things out for itself. But yeah, it's kind of hard to tell where you're going with your channel, what you're doing. And if you're looking for like a legitimate audit, some legitimate advice, definitely go out and start looking at videos that like start from the beginning. You know, figure out what you want to do on YouTube, pick a target audience, start working on titles, start working on thumbnails. I feel like you're kind of at the beginning of your journey.
But 141 videos, there have been at this for a certain amount of time, a significant amount of time. My general advice would be, because you made the video, you know what it's about. And so maybe you're not thinking about how you need to introduce this to a completely new viewer, or like if a friend walked through the door and then you said, hey, I want you to come see this video. And they said, well, what's it about? Think about how you can explain that in like 10 words. That's kind of your title. And then think about if you were going to watch a new film and you saw the movie poster and that really intrigued you to go and watch the movie. That's kind of what you got to do with the thumbnail. To a complete stranger, somebody who's never come across your content before, how are you going to tell them that this is a video that you need to watch? Mm-hmm. Again, I'm really confused by the top two videos because now I'm seeing that the video length is identical as well. Was it exactly the same video, just re-uploaded with a different title? Huh.
Yeah. All right. There's nothing more to say. We can move on.
Let's do that.
All right. We will pick a non-gaming channel. 321.
That's slap bang in the middle. 3, 2, 1.
Say they do shorts, so we need to pay attention to that. They say they do sports videos.
Sporty shorts. Shorty sports.
All right. Whenever we see channels like this, we have to worry a little bit about where they're getting their footage from. To be careful. Stay within YouTube's rules.
Let's play one of them, maybe with it muted. It's always a question of how transformational this is, because I do not think you were at the stadium recording that. Wow, was that it?
Yep.
Okay, we need to know what the audio is.
The audio is just some music.
Okay.
I guess this was celebrating. They got 400 subs, and so they're hosting an edit comp. A quick general advice for channels that do this: YouTube Shorts go out to so many people who are not subscribed to your channel that doing an announcement that's very, very, very channel specific does not play well in YouTube Shorts. So getting people to even this far in the video to talk about doing an edit competition and stuff, very, very difficult to do. Viper, what are your thoughts?
Man, this is okay. It seems to me like this person is using this particular footage and these YouTube shorts just to like accomplish some type of ulterior agenda that they have for their channel or themselves, and the content in and of itself is not really providing any value to the viewer. It seems like the content is only meant to provide value to the creator, and that is going to get you nowhere very fast on YouTube. So I guess my advice would be to rethink how you do content. The content shouldn't just be to provide value to you. The content has to be to provide value to viewers. And from the few clips I've seen, this does nothing for me as a viewer. But it seems like it's trying to do more for you as a creator. So I would think about it like that.
I'm trying to see if like long form videos are recent. They are, but we're also not getting much from these either in terms of like what's the channel about, what's going to happen. Half the videos don't even look like sports videos to me. There's just kind of other kind of meme stuff going on, but I'm not seeing any like. If I'm like a viewer thinking about like subscribing to a channel and stuff, I'm just not seeing any reason here to do that.
How YouTube is dying in 20 seconds. I'm almost intrigued to watch that.
That sounds like a great opener to a YouTube short.
Let's do it.
Well,
Muted.
I don't have them.
Oh, was that April the 1st?
Yeah.
That's not, I mean, actually, I've got to credit them there. Like, they've clickbaited me in, but at least they told me. Now there's a subscribe call to action.
So
That's a long call to action.
Very, very long. That's the rest of the video. So this is another. So like, okay,
you cheeky scamp, you
want to test out titles and thumbnails work. It kind of worked on us, which is cool. But keep in mind, we got 10 views in 3 days. If people click on this and they don't get what they want and they click off before they even get like 2 seconds into the video because they see the JK, they're going to just feel like you rickrolled them and they're not going to keep watching. And if you get low retention and watch time on a video like this, YouTube will stop sharing it. So it's not just title and thumbnail. You can get clicks, you get people in the door, but you got to keep them there. Otherwise, YouTube will take that as a signal that it's not a good video and stop sharing it.
I need you all to understand what Dan just told you. So I'll repeat that. It's not just about the title and thumbnail. People have to watch your video and watch it pretty much from front to back, or at least 50, 60, 70% of the way through before YouTube will be consider sharing that video to other viewers. If they don't watch the video, then you're going to have that situation where you get 10 views in 3 days. But if they watch your video, then YouTube is more likely to share it to more people. So don't just try to clickbait them. Actually provide quality content.
Super chat here from Fat Tested Travel. I'm trying to switch between suggested focused, shorter life, and search focused videos, long tail. Do low performing long tail videos hurt? So you've created a video for the purpose of like people finding it in search. You're hoping it's an evergreen video that sticks around a long time. It's not performing well. You're wondering if that hurts the rest of your channel. I would say no.
Still understand the question. We're trying to switch between suggested focused and search focused videos.
So basically browse and search is kind of how I'm reading it. They want to rank in browse for content that they know isn't going to have a long lifespan. Maybe it's trending content.
Yeah.
But they also have some long tail videos.
I don't think hurt. I mean, look, I'm looking at the word hurt here. I don't think it hurts the channel because I think vidIQ is probably an example of this, where we do have a certain number of long tail evergreen search based videos combined with shorts, updates, videos that don't last that long in terms of interest. So you have my permission to continue switching between those types of videos. I think you've got to understand when you make the video, what is the intent of a viewer? Are they looking to find a solution that could be solved today or next year? Or is it something that you're trying to capture the curiosity and intrigue of a viewer when they first go into YouTube? And you can do that successfully both ways. I do want to try and make a video soonish about how I've discovered that you can be a very successful education / how-to / search channel without ever focusing on search at all. Because we've experienced that on the vidIQ channel over the last 12 months, how we've made a conscious shift towards browse and suggested, even though we make very similar videos to what we did 2 or 3 years ago. But it's going to take time to do.
Shelly, thanks again for the supers. We're trying to get to all of these. We'll do our best. I took a 3-week break from YouTube. Since then, my newest shorts are only gaining 10 to 50 views from 8 videos so far. Last video before the break was 89K. What happened? It's been a month.
This is the YouTube Shorts algorithm, which is broken and seems to do this weird and wonderful stuff to creators. I don't know. My answer potentially is that if you're a channel that makes videos about cats, there are probably 50,000 other cat shorts channels, and because you weren't feeding the beast, YouTube has found alternative creators who are making the cat videos, and they're filled in where you are. I know that is a terrible answer because you shouldn't be punished for taking a break. And I might be wrong. It may not be because you've taken a break, but just shorts content creators is relentless. It just feels that you always have to be creating every single day.
I'll tell you this. I had a channel I was testing on for a while where I was uploading consistently, and then I stopped for 6 months. And I tried a short one day. I had like something happen and I took a clip of it and tried a short. and it got more views than any other short on the channel. And
Oh,
it just after
I'm
6
proven
months.
wrong then.
Well, but are you? I don't know. Like it's
Mm.
just kind of depends, I think. We don't really know. But I will say, did you change anything about your content during that break? Did you come back and make some changes? Something to look at? Keep going. You'll get them back.
The other thing
Definitely
is,
keep posting.
your last video got 89,000 views, but what about the videos before that? Did they get 1,000 views, like 500 views? Did you have just one outlier, and now your expectation has just been risen, unrealistically? Like you're expecting every video to get 50,000 to 90,000 views. I don't know. Again, we're lacking the context here, unfortunately.
EXPLANIA would like to thank us and then say they did not buy their views.
Good.
I did
Good work.
say, I didn't say that. I'm not saying that this channel did or didn't. I do apologize. I hope that you understand. I was using that as just an example of things that do happen on YouTube. But yes, thank you for the super and for the context. And then we got one here. You're all amazing. Thanks for the help. You're very welcome.
Thank you.
We have more, but we definitely need to be wrapping up. Thank
How
you
many
for
more have we
all the
got?
super chats.
Should we do
there
a
are.
speed round?
Let's see. Oh, okay. Yeah, we can. There's a couple
Right,
here.
let's do a speed round.
This one's from Jin2. Thank you for the super. Shelly again. Shorts 15 to 20 seconds of my commentary. Is it a good idea to put transcription of the commentary as part of the description section of my videos?
If I'm understanding the question right, it's probably better to burn the captions into the video itself, because sometimes people listen to the short when they're out traveling and they have the sound muted. So if you can caption it, please try that if you have the resources to do that.
Hindi Facts, thank you. And then this person wants to rub Rob's head.
Yo.
Oh dear God.
Right then. All right then.
All right. I think that's all of them. I was scrolling through chat. Hopefully I didn't miss any. Thank you. Viper, thanks for jumping in with us.
Thank you.
And final thoughts? Anything else?
Create something. We'll do it.
So dance music, Dan. We've got to now switch our cameras.
Oh, what? Wow. Okay. Bye, y'all.
Viper, you're gonna have to trail us out here because Dan and I are too busy.
I'm not dancing. I'm fine.
Shout out to Dan's new hookup. It's a setup
Yeah.
back there, y'all. Y'all see that setup?
Isn't it great? We're still working on it. More stuff is gonna
Yeah,
be behind me
multi-camera
soon.
stuff and everything. We got multi-camera stuff. Look, he all fancy on us now. Look at him.
Okay, let's.
We are ending the stream right now. I'm hitting the
I'm
button.
trying to find the outro.